All right. We'll go ahead and get the study session started here. First item to discuss is the purchase of a generator. Oh, you got to pop up just a second. We'll add.
Okay.
Microsoft upgrade. Purchase of a generator for transfer station to include propane tank and electrical work. Is that you, Martin?
To the
Come on up, man. Good morning.
Billy with the fleet manager, Kelly. We got 3 quotes to put a backup generator out at the transfer station. We're gonna start storing our chemical for weed spraying over the winter, so that's the main reason we were looking to put this generator in, so that power goes out, it doesn't freeze.
And then another thing out there, it is a location that we've used in the past when the tornado went through. That was where they headquartered emergency, the fire department, highway patrol, and the power was out during that tornado. And you survived setting up with lights with set of generators. It would make a great place when you headquarter out of there, being right off I-70, and keeping power, and it would help in an emergency.
We also have a backup server out there too for all of our data.
And it is out, yes.
Only question I have is 28 kilowatt, big old generator, man. Need that much?
We had 3 different companies come out.
That's what they thought.
That's what they suggested.
Okay. I just want to make sure. I know like 15 runs a home.
That's not running, I don't believe that's running the compactor.
Okay.
That's just the
Everything else.
And the scale house and then the main.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
The other thing we're going to attempt with winning better is to convert 3 meters
Into one.
into one.
Because each cost.
We have one switch, and then we also don't pay the extra fees because you pay $50, $100 a month just to have them.
For each connection, yeah.
Right.
Bucks or something.
We'll combine all 3 of them in that electrical work and make it 1 meter out there, 1 bill. We can split it in the ledger
Yes.
between noxious weeds and environmental service and what have you, but
Yeah.
I cut it all down to 1 switch and 1 meter. So
Just real quickly, what have they done in the past to preserve those chemicals? How do they keep them heated?
we didn't
Purchase that many
We
chemicals.
tried
You
to store it.
Okay, you didn't store them.
They were purchasing them
Yeah.
2 or 3 times a year, and then we're trying to get one bulk order to cut on the shipping.
See if we can, it'll save money with that, get a cheaper price if we're buying more quantity.
When that floods came through earlier this month or last month, I guess it was, we had a small generator where we were able to rig up to the scale so he could still run the tank trash, and then the company just dumped it in the top of the trucks. They didn't use a compactor, so.
And help run the truck system so it would print tickets. Because if you do have the hand ticket, which we can do, then you have to enter all that at a later date, get it back into the system.
But the backup server for storage for the courthouse and other
It's also out there.
is kind of pretty high priority that we need to have a good system in place there.
And we hope to take it mostly out of the noxious weed because that's why Billy says, to save the chemical through the winter so it doesn't freeze up on us.
Sure. How big a tank you gonna run with there? 500 gallon?
Yeah, 500.
All right. You get a used one, or I guess your bid say?
Yeah,
I just see it says used.
there's one company had a couple different used options, and then another one just had a used or new.
Yeah.
I'm fine with either way. I mean, they're not gonna sell us a bad used one. They're gonna still guarantee
They
it.
come out fresh painted and fresh checked. So
It's coming out of equipment or
Come out of noxious weed capital,
capital?
so, yeah.
Comfortable, I assume it's your budget.
Yes, there's, I don't know what the balance is in that right now, but there's money sitting in there. Yeah, so there's,
Capital, and that's specifically separated for noxious weed.
Okay.
And so it won't be affecting the overall budget. There's a balance, and when you look at the capital plan, there's plenty of room for the purchase. They would be
How much chemical do you store in there in given time inventory?
Okay, so for the townships, it'll be about $90,000 worth of chemical, just,
Answered my question.
just,
Mhm.
you know, and we haven't got to the end of the farming season, but we've spent 104,000 on chemical already, or what we've sold this year, I should say. We sold you know, and we won't be done until October selling.
So by those chemicals, you're helping the producers out there save money because they can buy those chemicals a lot cheaper.
We sell it because we get tax
Yes,
money, we
Yeah.
sell it below the cost.
that's what statute says that, yeah.
So,
And
but what I'm hoping is here in a couple of weeks, put out the township order.
Yeah.
For the whole township. We are done spraying townships. So we have our running total of how much chemical we need for a full year next year. And I would believe the chemicals are gonna go up in January or November or December, so.
Or
we bring it
August.
or maybe August, but we're getting ready to get out the poll for every township and store, so. I'd like to get this and get it installed before winter if we can.
I guess I'll approve. Let's put on the agenda next week if that works. Any other thing we need to talk about around it? Pretty straightforward to me. Thanks, guys.
yeah, thank you.
Oh, they have another,
Do they have another? I think they do. I was just thinking that.
this structural steel.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then I didn't know if you're gonna stay for the road vacate, yeah, and stay for the road vacate too, during the regular meeting, okay?
And anything that we might get into the full capital outlay.
Get another.
Yep.
So I assume this is no different than the rest of the bids we put out.
Correct.
And decking and cheating, okay?
Mhm.
I did just around material. I had an interesting text from Mr. Mitchell over in Willowdale. I think is where he's at.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring it up. I'm gonna show you a Facebook post. Tell me what you think of this.
Oh, wow.
And then he's claiming, is this the guy up north? That's what he's
The
doing.
railroad tank, that's south of us, yes.
He brought up the guy up north. Did we
Oh.
bid the guy?
The
that-
pipeline?
Oh, the pipe
Yeah.
yard.
Sorry.
D&K Industries.
Yeah.
Right now, he doesn't very seldom get anything that big. So, you know, what he does is bid abandoned gas lines. He removes them out of the ground, then he brings them in, cleans them, welds them together, whatever, and puts out pipe. But I don't believe we've ever got any that were over 36 inch.
Okay.
So far from him up here. The railroad yard does sell bigger pipe, but
Yeah,
financially, it doesn't compete with the corrugated yet,
Okay.
right? Yeah.
That's just my question.
Now up here, the small steel, he is actually cheaper than corrugated.
And that's kind of what Gary was getting
Yeah,
at.
that's
Yeah.
that's steel pipe.
More driveway work.
Driveway.
Driveway size.
Too small for what we're doing.
24-inch.
yeah.
As they
Too
call
small
it.
for what we're doing though.
Yeah.
Okay. That's just my
Yeah,
question.
we recommend most new driveway people to get the gas pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We use them any chance we get because they're gonna last a long time.
Yeah.
Years, like-
And that's what we bought up in our
Put
culverts.
cover over them.
Yeah, you can't crush the ends up. You know,
No.
Yeah, and
I
that's,
suppose you can, but
well,
you have to really put some effort into it.
maybe a D10 dozer, I don't know.
Oh, Annabelle's gonna do it, so.
Put a lot of effort into it. Okay. I just wanted to follow up on it, yeah, so. What is it, what, I guess to me, this, I went over the bid. Is there anything to note you guys want to talk about?
Now, it's pretty straightforward, but we need to finish that bridge down there. So,
Looks like Wilborn was the winner.
yes.
Okay. Is it all
That's
right?
why I asked for it to move up is 3 weeks out on holding the bid. And I turned it in while everybody was gone. It just fell that way. Shallow had sent the bids out.
Are you requesting we add it today or?
Yeah.
If we can.
Yeah, you can,
yes,
yeah,
If we could, try to hold it another week.
yeah.
I'll let Ron look at it and
Yeah, I've been through it. I've seen this morning. Yeah,
we'll go ahead and add it then, if you're all right with that, Ron.
I'm good with, yeah, we should.
Thank you.
And we can go over that in a little bit, but the total bid amount from Wellborn Sales, I think was at $41,006.98. Once again, material to rebuild a bridge.
So, and that would be from Wellborn, yeah,
That's what I'm reading here.
with everything that they're
Mhm.
needing, so, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Go ahead and add it to the agenda then. Okay, do you want to?
You want to talk to Marcus a little bit about the budget?
Do that, or do we need to do his, I thought we had something else with Martin.
Actually, it's on the regular agenda, it's the road vacate request, so
Yeah, sure. Martha,
Yeah,
sure.
down to talk study session.
we have your update, but
An update for.
I think what, he's getting ready to publish the fiscal 27 budget. So I think we're ready to go with that, and he provided an updated copy of that where we sit.
Okay.
But I don't know if you had any other questions with that.
Yeah,
We are under the R&R.
I've got. I thought you guys were starting to talk about the road vacate.
Oh, so that's-
You start talking budget, I'm like, oh, okay, we can do that. Okay, well, I just gave my.
Yeah, keep it.
So I provided you guys a full copy of the state form budget. I've got a printed copy in your binders. I've also got a copy that I went ahead and uploaded to the SharePoint drive so you can see the full budget. There's also a CIC report that basically provides you a little bit of breakdown that shows the categories for how we put things in place on the state form. Based on our last meeting, we're at that 48.4 mils, which that's still where we're at today. I know one thing that we had talked about that last meeting, and maybe there may have still been some discussion, I just want to make sure, was the conservation district. We have them at $30,000. That's what I have entered in here. In the past, we give them 40. I think we've talked because we were looking at some potential cuts. That was one that, so I want to make sure you guys are still comfortable with that 30. If I need to make an adjustment there, I can do that still at this time. So that was really, I think, the last question we had before we could potentially look towards publishing it. Because you have any thoughts on where we're at on the conservation district?
I know Lynn wanted to go to 30. I think you wanted to go back to 40. I was trying to cut it in half or go in the middle, maybe compromise with both. I don't know if you're happy with that or not, Ron.
I just wanted to protect that 10,000 that's going to be contributed to it, but I don't, the portion that request in the little area that I'm dealing with is nominal compared to the rest of the budget. I mean, even if it does go to 40, it still doesn't equal a third of what the rest of the budget is. The other entities that's asked for money. So I don't think that's out of line to request and hold to that.
What does 10,000 do to our I assume it's not going to move us very far.
If we're going to, if you want to add the 10,000 back in there, I will review budget a little closer. There may be a couple of places. I can look at some of our revenues too and see if there's a potential. I try to budget very conservatively on our revenues. It would be a possibility that, I can look at potentially some of our the interest income or some of those things just a little bit closer, see how we're projecting for 2026 and see if we have any flexibility with some additional revenue coming in to counteract that 10,000, as opposed to necessarily cutting 10,000 somewhere else. So at this stage in the game, so there is a possibility that that the 10,000 could still, and my recommendation would still be to hold the line at that 48.4.
Yeah, I don't want
just to keep it there. But if you guys want me to review that 10,000, I can work on that and see what sort of adjustments. There may be a few different revenue sources that are coming in a little higher than they have in the past, that I'm still budgeting relatively conservatively. We're squeezing all of those a little tighter, and I never want to budget too aggressively on revenue, because we just want to make sure that everything is going to actually come in where it's at. But if you guys want to look at a budget that includes that and gets it back to $40,000, you give me that direction. I can look and see what we can do.
one of the things I followed up on was a Morris and Mary County support to the Tri-County Fair. And they're going to throw support that way.
Good.
So we were concerned that we'd have sufficient funds to keep things looking good, so that we talked about that. So they're good with that. So.
Personally, I know the Conservation District digs wells, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. They help a lot of people in our community. I kind of have to agree with Ron here a little bit. I know it's contradictory to what I normally say, but I know a lot of guys that they've helped. So I think we need to talk about it with Lynn a little more when we get closer to passing the budget, though. I think this one might be a day of call.
Okay.
We'll just bring it to a vote. I don't know if I'm convinced either way right now, to be honest with you. So.
Okay. So the question would be, so right now you're comfortable, because if we publish at this rate, we can always come down, we can't go up. I could, and that would be submitting at the 48.4.
I'll answer that now. Yes, I want to submit at 48.4. That would be my vote today.
Okay.
If I had to vote today, that would be what I'd want to do.
Okay. Yeah, so I think we can, I'll look at that 10,000 then, and then so we can plan to publish, because look, I'd like to be able to publish in the next 2 Thursdays, because they only print now in the Apple Reflector on Thursdays. So if I have the direction to publish today with the 48.4, I could do that potentially for next Thursday or the Thursday after, preferably next Thursday, because if there's an error on it, that gives us 1 more week to submit it on.
See why I can't publish, but I mean, I think we've agreed so far.
Keep it at the 48.4, and then
We're still going to bring it to a vote anyway once we get there. So, yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable with it.
And then, so outside of that, I do have my department update. So I'll go ahead and just kind of roll into that. You guys kind of see me every week for the last couple of months. You kind of know what my department's up to. But what I wanted to talk about a little bit was just more on the budget and where we came into be. So as we walk through with all the department heads, I sometimes feel like I'm repeating myself over the week in and week out, but really everybody came to the table this year again, really worked to find anywhere they could on the operational side. I was really happy with all of the department heads, all the staff, in their effort to kind of work together. We came up, there was multiple departments now that we lowered positions and personnel. So we'll be budgeting for 2 less positions in the dispatch department, and also another position in the appraiser's office. It's going to be down 1. And then with our consolidation to public works, one of the budgeted positions in noxious weed also came out as well. So we'll be down 4 positions for next year, just kind of showing how everybody was willing to work for the greater good and make sure they can still provide those high level services with a few less staff where possible. I thought it all went over very well. What I want to say is on that 48.4, I kind of touched on it a couple of weeks ago, but we've been working for the last 5 years on reducing the mill levy. And the mill levy in 2022 was 56.891 mills. If we were to maintain that out to today, that 56.891 mills would equal property tax about 16,603,809 based on what the assessed valuation is today. With this budget that we're presenting for this year at the 48.4, we're potentially levying 14,125,794, which is a difference of almost $2.5 million in property tax. I just think that's important for the taxpayers to really understand that difference in how we're working towards trying to reduce property taxes. If you look over the last 5 years, we kind of touched on that at the last meeting. After running those numbers, in the first year in 2023, there was a property tax reduction with that mill levy that would have been a savings of about $806,000 after we reduced the mill levy there. The next year was $663,000. Following year, another $850,000. And then last year, when we reduced the mill levy by 7%, that was a savings of about $1.9 million in property tax compared to having kept that mill levy flat since 2022. And that's kind of the difference there. But when you look at that, when you see it on a graph, our mill levy is going down. And if you think about just keeping that mill levy flat and you see that triangle in the corner, the total of that over the last 5 years was $6,704,454 in property tax savings that we're really offering back into the community by following this mill levy reduction. And I just think it's important to really understand what that is, because sometimes it'd be easy for us to just maintain and stay flat with the direction of commission and with staff and everybody working together. We have been able to find those reductions, and it does come up to a lot of dollars when you look at it over those number of years. So I think the county's done a great job, everybody working together to help the taxpayers as much as possible. I know there's some challenges and concerns with the rising costs of assessments on homes and valuations. We don't have complete control over that, as the market does drive a lot of that, but we're doing what we can to help reduce dollars where possible. And really with that, those were kind of some of the main points I wanted to talk about. We kind of went over the capital plan that last meeting as well. And so, yeah, if you guys have any more questions, I guess, for my department, one more thing to roll into is just in the next upcoming weeks, I'll probably be working on a lot of transitional type of things. Got a lot of notes to try to enter because unfortunately, I do have a pretty heavy role in the budget. So it's very important in this transition period that the next people that will be reviewing this will understand what every move I made and how they can help control, because finishing out 2026 is going to be very vital that we're still conservative on all of our spending with this current budget to make sure that the 2027 budget comes together the way that we're planning. So right now I'll be working to kind of get all my transitional notes in place, take all of my, mess that works for me and that I know how it works and I know where this paper and this it is. Maybe the next person wouldn't. So I just want to make sure I work through that transition in the upcoming weeks. So it's going to be a busy time, but if you guys are comfortable with where we're at, like I said before, I'll plan to publish the budget. And then we would plan to have our budget hearing on August 20th.
I'll just add to that. Last 2 years, we're going to reduce the tax by 10% in 2 years. I think that is a achievement that you should be proud of. All of you guys should be proud of. You guys, and I'm telling that to every department, good job. I think we are doing good work there, and especially hearing that we got 41 entities going above their R&R this year. I think that's just more credit to you guys. So I'm going to ditto what you're saying.
Thank you. And then on top of that, the mill levy, when we look back, we're actually equal to where we were at, I believe it was 2014.
2014.
I had that 2 weeks ago. But yeah, so 2014. And when you think back to 2014, we also, since then, there's now a bond issue that's covering the improvements to the courthouse and to the jail. And so that's almost 3 mills right there. So when you really factor that in, we're actually operating at a lower cost than we were even almost 12 years ago. So when you think about it from a mill levy standpoint, obviously the dollars change in that because the assessed valuation changes and the value of a mill has changed in that time as well. But we're actually operating with less mills if you consider that one of those is paying for a bond issue that wasn't there in 2014.
Sure.
Do you guys have any more questions on the budget before we publish? Are we pretty comfortable with where we're at?
So
I think we're way ahead of schedule. wasn't on the schedule until 10 o'clock. I'm looking at.
And I
What
texted
else?
him and said, hey, can you come on up?
There's
So
only so much we can talk about structural bids. I mean,
this-
kind of is what it is.
I was expecting him to go into every single part of it. I'm like, yeah.
I need to hear about every line.
Road vacation.
No, this is all, it's all public, so you guys can look at this stuff. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
do you have any questions about the road vacate before Tim gets up here? I texted him and asked him to come on up, so. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's the public hearing piece of it.
I always want to know why. I mean, that's really ever what I want to know.
The township is requesting it because it's a road that they do not feel like that they can allocate dollars to maintain. And they had a citizen visit with them about that, and yeah, so we also, this is dual because it sits on the line. So Ottawa County will hold their public hearing on Monday, actually. So when they don't, they have not brought any issues forward to me about it, so.
I mean, it's a road nobody played for 30 years.
Right, right. It hasn't,
Just the deer hunters and the local.
Mhm.
yes.
They kept a path, down through there. And
Actually, don't see it in here. Do I have it?
I thought it's gonna be towards the end of your budget stuff, before the pictures.
Yeah.
But let me make sure. Yeah, so it is right after the accounts payable stuff. There's the request. And then there's a
Got it.
map.
Everybody's been notified there's a hearing.
Yes.
Okay.
That's my next question too. Okay, there we go. I was trying to figure out where it was. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I
You've probably been up.
I didn't even know
Yeah.
that's the road still.
Huh?
Didn't they put that two-way, like you got a turn sign and then
yes, there's a turn sign
Yeah.
on the south end, and it really, but they never did the paperwork. So in township meeting day, we will put on the agenda, you cannot just abandon a road,
Right.
quit blading it. If you don't want it, then do.
You
the
gotta vacate
paperwork
it,
to Get rid of it.
there's no houses
I think
there.
we
It's
found
not depend, no travel's dependent on it.
And we found 3 more last year, so.
True, the farmer's okay. You can get in his field or he's gonna figure it out.
They got access, yeah.
I see there's a good field there.
Mhm.
The other one's got access to 3,200 to the house.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
They're not landlocked.
I didn't even know that was still a road. I'll be honest, I thought that was out of our county.
Yeah.
And actually.
I didn't even think it was in our county.
In our county, so I thought it's.
We went north
traveled.
there a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. That line's not straight, huh?
No.
15. or whatever. No, that makes sense.
Well, no, if that road's vacated, then will will it be eventually go back to the property owner?
Yes.
Yes,
So he'll pay taxes on it.
yes.
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 Yeah, it'll be split down the middle of the roadway.
Mm-hmm.
And if they want, and then it's up to them what to do.
Then,
Correct.
they want a fence in between them, that's up to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. They want to share a path down to the deer blind, that's still up to them.
Pond in there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll visit.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have much questions. I mean, it seems pretty straightforward. Once again, I've lived here. I thought that road closed down when we were like in school, when I was in high school. You used to be able to go down it. I remember doing that. And then they put that sign up. And matter of fact, I think isn't that where Nelson, anyway, don't matter. I think they got in a wreck there, so I'm going with that.
It's hard.
What else is on our study? That we need?
Two resolutions, things like that, so,
Okay, so we'll wait for Tim, huh?
yeah, I guess, any questions or concerns about closing at 3 on the 28th for the parade?
No,
I just,
I saw we're first in the lineup. Sheriff is.
Of course, yeah. We just need to get the word out and make sure you're comfortable with that. So
There's usually a few that stay back anyway.
there are, yes, yeah. If they feel like that, they can get some things done, so. Okay, well then I will get that out or we'll put it on the website, put it on Facebook and do that. So thank you, Jennifer.
We could talk about that.
Oh, yeah, actually, the addition that Jennifer brought to us for the notice to Hayes Township for the CMB license. Do you have any questions about that? What all is involved with that?
C&B license?
Cereal malt beverage.
Oh,
It's Walt's Four Seasons.
For Walt's Four Seasons.
Got new owners.
not
They'd like
unless,
to be able to sell under their
Do you have
name.
that?
It's on the application, but I don't know.
You have an application in the to be signed folder?
No, no, that's just a notice. of
That's just the notice? Oh,
that's
okay.
just a notice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it had the name on it though.
Walt's Four Seasons.
Is all they
Or
have.
Walt Beverage
Oh, okay.
Brown,
Yeah.
or-
I mean, my only question would be, are they, within regulation? Are they allowed to get a permit, all those?
Well, they go through the state first.
Okay,
So then they just come
The
here
state
and
approved,
say that
okay.
county says, okay, you know what I mean?
gotcha.
It's part of the process to notify the township, and then they'll come back, and then you guys will sign off on it. After they approve it.
So it's like to sell gas station beer, right? Is what you're doing?
Yep.
Yeah. I want them to.
So you okay with adding that to the agenda today? That was the question.
I'm
You want to
fine with
move
that.
along.
I don't have any
They
problem.
don't have to stall out.
Sales to our community.
Fine.
Okay.
Get them up and running.
So you might want to write that on your notes,
You want me to write?
to add that C and B license,
Oh, I got you there.
notice to township.
We got a couple additions. So we got the decking. Cool.
Like before the executive session.
What do you mean?
He's adding the notice to township board
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
and something else. What else?
The consider purchase of structural steel decking and sheeting for 168 Farm.
Generator we're gonna do next week.
Generator next week.
Structural decking bid from Wellborn.
41006.98. It's raining cats and dogs out.
I can hear it.
In
I always wonder when the phrase that you just used, where it came from. And can I educate?
yeah.
It came during the colonial times when cabins were built. They had straw between the lower floor and
For insulation.
kind of insulation.
Yeah.
Well, the cats and the dogs, it was a little loft up there. They would go up there and sleep. Well, when it rained, that straw got soft. And the animals,
True.
that's where that saying came from. It was a colonial type saying. So it's kind of interesting where some of that, we still use a lot of those phrases.
Yeah.
Or like lock, stock and barrel, when you go to buy something, and that literally was lock, stock and barrel in the old days of the muzzle loading weapons.
Mhm.
Lock, stock and barrel you could buy.
Mhm.
Now, when you go buy something, you want to make sure you get everything with it. Remember in the 70s, you didn't get a bumper with your pickup truck.
Right.
Yeah, I've heard that too. What township are we notifying?
Hayes.
Hayes.
We are going to have the bid opening next Tuesday at 1 for the 1060 1900 Avenue Bridge. And I think, would Chad say 13 possible
Possible, yeah. The
entrance?
first hours, 9 companies picked up
Yeah, so that is great. We haven't had
that kind of,
interest in quite a while, have we? We didn't have that on 1100 Avenue.
no,
We didn't have that on First Road, 500 Avenue, so it's good.
No competition then, was it?
No,
these 1 or 2 things, they're catching up. Yeah. for all of them to look at it.
Good.
And it being a big enough project, we catch the bigger contractors taking a shot at it. So
Hmm.
should be interesting.
Yes, it should. So that'll be good.
Okay, Tim. Good morning.
Good morning. In Hamilton Planning and Zoning, just a couple of things to go over that you'll be seeing next week. There's a resolution that on July 18th, the Planning Commission is in agreement with the County Commission's direction recommending a 4-0 vote to a 3-year moratorium allowing the Commission 1 year for each to used to address data centers, alternative energy, and battery energy storage facilities. The Commission decided to address data centers first, since that's kind of where we're at now. During the discussion, they really didn't know which direction to go with the other two, which to have second. But I think in the end, what their motion was to go with what we had, which was data centers, then battery energy storage, then alternative energy. And I think the issue that came up during the meeting was, the concern was on alternative energy, what constitutes alternative energy. So I think I've come up with kind of a solution to that I'll present next month that might help them with that definition, because they don't want to hamstring themselves and say, okay, yeah, it's these, and then all of a sudden there's a new one that pops up 5 years. So, but they are recommending the 3-year moratorium as you all have proposed, and so that will be coming to you next week. The second item will be CUP 2609. This would be consideration of a conditional use permit to allow establishment of a bed and breakfast facility generally located at 768 2500 Avenue, west of Sunflower Property Rentals. At the July 16th Commission recommended approval of this proposal on affordable code with the conditions that outlined by staff. And those conditions were basically what we kind of went through with the last one that we saw last month, which was just as long as they confirmed any kind of additional expansion may require additional CUP or any kind of say environmental issues that are environmental expansions, like adding a bathroom, that sort of thing. They for environmental services on that. So it's just, but it's no different than that. But this is a new establishment. It's not an expansion. Visiting one that you saw. This is establishment of a new one, which one of the things that I'm looking at, and that was brought up by a couple of commissioners, was, is there a way that this could be, these types of Airbnbs can be accessory use, described as accessory use, not requiring a CUP and just administratively being approved. And I don't see an issue with that as long as they meet certain criteria that we can put down for that. But I said right now it's addressed in Airbnbs as a CUP in our regulations. So we may end up at some point changing that to an accessory use where I just administratively approve it. Because they're very low impact. These are rental properties that are, even though they're commercial, they're not going to impact the roads. That's more intense use for them. So, but anyway, these are the two things that we'll be discussing. Will be coming in front of you next week, and so
I'm all for deregulation, so
yeah,
I would support that idea. I think if you want to start a bed and breakfast Airbnb out of your house, I don't know why you need to come ask us to do it.
right.
It's your house. I don't think you're.
Yeah, and I think that
Reinventing the wheel here.
when they originally put that in there, I think that what the consultant was thinking was, if it's like a multi-unit deal that they're putting in, that's a whole different ballgame. But if it's something that's just out of your house, like this is being proposed, and the one previously was that you all looked at was out of his house, I don't see any reason why I can't just approve it administratively.
I have to agree. I don't know why they wouldn't just be like, does it even need approval? Like to start Airbnb out of a house you own? You're still using it in the same use capacity. Someone's staying in it, and
yeah.
I mean, it's not like the use has changed.
Mhm.
Based on what the input I've received from the commission, I could probably do like what we did with the roadside stands.
Mhm.
Like, I don't want to go to so far to where like I can't start a garden. Like that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, yeah.
Like you bought it, you can do whatever you want as long as you're not turning it into, a nuclear power plant or something.
But I mean,
I'm going to an extreme there.
yeah,
You get my point.
at least if they're coming in, they're notifying us of a change in the value, of the change in the property,
Yeah.
which is something that we do need to know
Okay.
about. So if they're coming into Tim and he has a record of that, then I think that's probably the best way to proceed.
And so far, everybody that has had these types of proposals comes to me and asks either if it's an expansion of an existing, or if it's they want to establish one. I go through there may be some that I'm not aware of, but the ones that they're pretty good at letting me know.
Right.
We'll look forward to what you guys come up with. Do not, Tim.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
They'll be here next week. So
Perfect. Well, we got through that pretty quick.
yeah, it's quicker than I thought. You guys, dang.
Any other topics that we want to bring up, or?
Well, we are going to have an open position, so that is something that we'll be discussing. Marcus has submitted his resignation, so we'll work through that process, what we're gonna do there.
He alluded to that a little bit
Just a little bit.
indirectly.
Yeah, yeah. So some changes coming there, so, but that's really all I have right now. So unless you have any questions or any direction on things you want us to be working on.
Not this time. Well,
I don't have anything right now.
that said, we're gonna take a break then. We'll be back at 11 a.m. for our regular meeting. It's a 48-minute break. I don't know, maybe go get something to eat or something.
Just keep you updated. Smoke out of one of the semis. We may have one.
Okay.
They'll, get it torn down here next week or whatever. Find out how the old
A little bit towards the house. Rather digging your yard
They'll put these back in. That happened once before. For sure.
Oh, I.
Yeah, that's it. I don't. Yeah. You know, see the paying taxes, but I'm not gonna pay taxes on something you can't use. Sure. Yeah. I don't care if it's closed. Yeah. Don't make you pay the taxes.
Well, we first moved up there 25 years ago. We got all like.
Yeah.
I call this meeting to order. Would all rise for the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would all remain standing for the invocation? Mr. Arden Peterson.
Heavenly Father, again, we just give you thanks for this beautiful day, the rain that we've needed, and it cooled off. Will help our crops, Lord. And I just think of the fair coming up and the hot weather that's forecast, and I just pray that people can use common sense in taking care of themselves and their animals that will be at the fair. And there'll be a lot of traffic, Lord, and I just pray that people can be patient in traffic and getting around. And Heavenly Father, I pray for the election that's coming up. I just pray that we can know the truth about the various candidates that are running, that we can know exactly where they stand and not a bunch of rhetoric. And Lord, we know that there are a lot of quality people that are running. And so I just pray for wisdom, that your Holy Spirit will guide us in knowing who to vote for and how to vote. And as well as the yes, no question too, Lord. And Heavenly Father, I pray that you'd give the commissioners wisdom today with decisions that they'll make, guide and direct them. And I thank you for our county here and our state and our town and our country. Lord, we're so blessed. We live in the best country in the world, and we thank you for that. And I just pray that you just guide and direct each of us in our lives and help us to please you with what we do and say. And Lord, I pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Moving down to the approval of agenda, we got a few additions, so let me try to work through this. First is a public hearing to consider proposed vacation on the Solomon Road and 3100 Avenue in Flora Township. Next is resolution 072326 vacating and closing a portion of the same public hearing. After that is consideration of property tax relief for property at 208 West 6th in Solomon, Kansas, Mike and Darcy Teeters. After that, we will have a consideration of structural decking bid from Wellborn Sales for $41,006.98. After that, we will have a notice to the Hayes Township for CMB permit. I'm told today that Hayes Township is actually here in attendance, so the notice has been given this morning. We will also consider an approval of the same CMB cereal malt beverage permit today as well. After that, we'll have an executive session for non-elected personnel. And then we will also have an additional executive session for non-elected personnel. So we'll have 2 executive sessions today. That is the agenda as presented. Do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Consent agenda, minutes for July 9th meeting are in your packets. Accounts payable. Let's make sure I'm reading the right one. Accounts payable of $105,967.82. SD security wire of $4,320. Hand checks are $281.96. Utilities of $11,713.60. Enterprise fleet management payment for $41,365.44. And abated tax for $6,600.60. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
So moved. I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Commissioner comments and committee reports. I was actually out of town last week. I'll start this week. So I do not have a whole lot to report. I do have a North Central Regional Planning Commission today, which is a legislative update. So I look forward to what we're going to hear out of that. Lynn?
I did attend the Gold Star dedication, and it took place at Solomon this past Saturday. And so anyway, it went very well, and want to thank the Solomon FFA. They're the ones who were the lead on the project. And then I won't go into details, but we did have an emergency situation come up in our family. Great appreciation for the law enforcement, first responders. We had some ambulances dispatched, and you know, when you're in kind of a crisis type situation, you really appreciate the professional and timely response. So I did want to thank them for that. And everything turned out as well as could be expected, really. We're very fortunate.
Thank you, Lynn. Sorry to hear about that. Ron?
Yeah, I did spend some time at the Juvenile Detention Center this last week again. They're working on the Ottawa County Jail issue. The slow thing right now is getting education, the type of education they want to put into the jail to help these youngsters out. A little complication there, but otherwise everything's going okay. They want to maintain the costs so it don't cost the county any more money, which is good because we need room, but we don't want to raise costs, and that's working out pretty good. I did spend a little time at Rock Springs 4-H Center, south of our community there. You know, represents 105 counties. A lot of children and adults attend that facility. And it was pretty interesting to see things go on down there, and they're getting restructuring things going on. I did spend a lot of time this last weekend also. This was class reunion time. So many of those classes from the years past have graduated in those areas. So the South had reunions, and it was nice to visit with the folks. And of course, one of the topics was bridges. I said, well, you guys come up in the old days with the old cars. I said, what kind of bridges did you have? And they were wooden. I didn't know, but they were wooden bridges that they've obviously replaced and things like that. They had stories to share with me, and I appreciated that. So busy weekend.
Thank you, Ron. Moving on, no proclamations or petitions today. We'll go ahead and move to a brief comment or public comment period. Sorry. County Administrator Janelle Docknofer, read the rules, please.
For the Open Meetings Act, KSA 75-4317 and 75-4318A, as the elected board, the county commission is not allowed to meet or make any decisions without posting the meeting. They are only allowed to act on items on the agenda which they set. During the regular meeting, the county commission may allow for public comments on items not listed on the approved agenda. It is at the discretion of the county commission if they allow comments on agenda items. If you wish to provide comments, please come forward to the podium and state your name and address. If you are online, raise your hand and we will unmute you. Please state your name and address. Each person may speak for 3 minutes. The allotted time will start after the speaker has given his or her name and address. Public comment shall be addressed to the county commission only and not to the speaker or the audience. Only the county commission will be permitted to ask the speaker questions. The public comment period is not a back and forth discussion with the county commission. You should make your views and input known to them, but it is not a time to ask them questions. You should not expect them to respond to your comments. Comments may express support or agreement with the previous speakers, but in the interest of time, please do not repeat the same information. You may state something to the effect of your name and address and you agree with the previous speaker. It is important to maintain a respectful, non-threatening atmosphere for anyone who would like to speak. Please do not engage in such actions as cheering, booing, clapping, insults, threats, etc.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and open it up for public comment. I cannot see the online version. Do we have it there?
Okay, here we go. We changed our format and I do not see any hands raised.
Any public comments from the crowd today? Seeing none.
It'll be, not yet.
Seeing none, I'll go ahead and close the public comment period. Thank you, guys. Reports from county officers, County Administrator Janelle Docknofer.
Commissioners, we've purchased E10 fuel and we had several bids actually. Sapp Brothers for $3.10, MCK for $3.12, Security Oil for $3.15, Robson for $3.19, and FNN for $3.23. Bid was awarded to Sapp. Purchase also of diesel fuel, Robson at $4.18, Security Oil at $4.19, FNF at $4.34. The bid was awarded to Robson. Advanced voting has started. It started on July 15th and the courthouse is now a polling site. So, and I know Jennifer will kind of review some of those things. Wanted to provide a quick update on the 1160 1100 Avenue Bridge. So Martin had advised that they plan on pouring the deck by the end of this month, which is a good thing. There'll be a 28-day cure. And then obviously they'll have to finish up the approaches, guardrails, signage, whatnot. So they'll have that. And hopefully sometime in September, we'll have that road back open. So that is good news. I know that there's been a lot of people that have been concerned about that. The Public Works Department is mowing and spraying the townships, and they have sprayed all of the townships, which is good for noxious weeds. Public Works Department is replacing structures on Bond Road, and that's one of your agenda items today is to purchase structure. They've been replacing them in the northern end of the county, but this will be for the south end of the county. And then also your approval, which you've given, county offices will be closed at 3 p.m. on July 28th for the Central Kansas Free Fair. That's all I would have unless you have any questions for me.
I believe we do.
Okay.
Thank you. Notices and communications, County Clerk Jennifer Gayton.
As Janelle mentioned, the county courthouse is now a polling location while early voting is going on until August 3rd. So therefore, electioneering is not allowed 250 feet away from this building. Early voting is going on. It is Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. in the county clerk's office, and it will go until August 3rd at noon. The deadline to request a ballot by mail is July 28th, which is next Tuesday. And so far, we had 241 in-person early voters and 155 ballots sent by mail. Also, we received a public notice from KDHE regarding the proposed action to reissue an existing state permit for Fellbush Family Farms located at 1331 Flag Road. Comments received on or before August 15th will be considered. To view this document in its entirety, please visit the website at www.dkcoks.gov. Go to the county clerk's page and click on the KDHE public notices.
Thank you, Jennifer. Put my notes in here. Okay. Moving down to the first item on our business, we have I guess I'm just going to open it, huh?
Yeah.
We're going to open a public hearing to consider the proposed vacation and closing of portion Solomon Road between 3100 Avenue and 3200 Avenue in Flora Township. Do we have any public comments on that?
Go ahead. Hi, I'm Randall Bathurst and appreciate sending out letters and all that for people to make a public comment. I also want to commend the Sheriff's Department because I had an incident yesterday and they hopped on it and got it stopped and got it solved, I think, right away. And they really did a good job. Very impressed. I own this quarter section right here. And I can't remember, it's probably been 10 years ago or so. The state came in and gave pictures of, hey, county, you're losing taxes on certain roads and areas in the county. And at that time, I opposed it because that road now is overgrown with trees. It hadn't been used in years. When I was, I don't know, probably 20 years ago, maybe, when I farmed, I could drive up that road. Eventually the bridge went out up there on the creek, and then that's when it started not being used anymore. It's overgrown with trees and it's a mess. And if you want to close the road for sake of collecting taxes on that area, because on my quarter, it runs quite a ways, there'd be a couple acres at least. I would like to see you clean it back up to where it was when we used it and get rid of all the trees and everything. And then I will not complain about paying taxes because I can farm that ground if it's going to be closed. And that's my opinion on closing the road. I don't care if you close it. Just don't make me pay taxes on something that's overgrown with trees and costs me a lot of money to clear it out to be able to farm it to pay taxes on. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm George Gracky. Of course, I got right here, this is mine, I got there right next to Randall. And I'm kind of basically with him on that. The road is overgrown. I could go down my side of the road because I kept it pretty well clean just for myself. Me and my grandson, great grandson, we walk down that road to squirrel hunt and stuff like that. But I'm getting so old, I can't walk through the timber without falling. So that's the reason why I've liked it, always kept it open. Well, to keep it open like that, you get a lot of looky-loos back down in there because it is isolated. People like to get back down in there and get looky-loos, so I don't care for that. I put up a gate there 2 years ago, and they made me tear it down, so I haven't even been back in on that road in 2 years. I was going to take a picture of it this morning, but it was raining. All these weeds are that tall, trees that fell over in it, stuff like that. I'm like Randall, I don't care if we close it or if we open it. But if we open it, let's open it all the way through. When I first moved out there, I could drive all the way through. It was kind of nice taking the back roads home after a hot day where we're cold beer, you know. And I know that one bridge would have to be replaced, but as far as I'm one or the other, we need to do one or the other. I don't care which one it is. As far as tax and stuff, that doesn't bother me now. That it's not farm ground anyway. But if Randall would, if the trees would go back out, you'd have to take the trees out to farm that ground. Oh, yeah. What he would have to do. So, but like I said, it's all overgrown with trees and stuff like that. I really thought it was closed 10 years ago because they quit maintaining it. It ain't been maintained for at least 10 years. I figured it was closed. That's why I put up the gate finally when Newthai had all them looky-loos going back in there. And there was quite a few of them. A lot of them from out of state and stuff like that. And I didn't really care for that much. So, and there was a couple of low spots in there. I don't know how many people I pulled out of that. And one way or the other, as far as I'm concerned, too, just like Randall.
So I'll respond to, I guess, your comment. It's a township road, but it's not our road. We don't levy tax, I guess, to fix or maintain that road. But your township, I guess, is who.
Excuse me, if you guys haven't got nothing to do with it, why did she make me take the gate down?
Well, because the township is requesting these things.
Jeff Bartlett did?
I'm not saying in particular.
Well, we'd have to
maybe.
go back and look.
There's a petition that the township requested that the road be vacated.
Correct.
Because they
Yeah.
no longer, right. So,
Right.
but this part of the process because the county commission has the responsibility of the roads and the township, they allocated those roads to the township. So they still have a process that we have to do. And that's why they're involved with it.
Okay.
In other words, we're not requesting them to close the road.
Right,
That's what
right.
I'm trying to tell you.
They're
They are requesting us to approve what they already approved in their board, which is to close the road.
I do have pictures on my phone. If you want to see it. But, yeah.
I just wanted to comment on that. We're getting into a weird space here. It's not necessarily the county. They requested our approval.
Procedurally, we need to do this.
Not on that township, but in Willowdale. And at that time, the state brought up the fact that, hey, you're losing tax dollars by not having these. And that road was one of them that they had marked out along with some other places in the county. And I said, well, you know, if you want us to pay taxes on that,
I don't,
then, because you're supposed to pay to the center of the road anyway.
Correct.
But if it's gonna be closed all the way, then it needs to be cleaned out so that it can be.
I think, is this the road that Ottawa actually has the other half?
Well, yeah, the road actually lies all within Dickinson County, but since it is on the border, we have to have Ottawa also hold their public hearing in that too. So, and that's why they were notified as well. So, no.
So,
The township also has,
They got-
if they have roads, they have the responsibility of maintaining them as well. And I bet it's been 20 years since anything was done on that road, honestly.
The conservation district, this might qualify for a program, but they need to have the property owners reach out to them.
Yes, yeah. So, I don't know if you have any other comments. I think you can close it.
okay. Any other comments on this public hearing? We'll go ahead and close the public hearing. Next up is resolution 072326, on the very same topic, vacating and closing the portion of Solomon Road between 3100 Avenue and 3200 Avenue in Florida Township. Any discussion for the call for motion? We were just talking, the Conservation District has put out some programs to help cut limbs down or cut trees out. I don't know if they'd be willing to help you guys. I think I encourage you to reach out to them. Like I said before, this is a township road. We're closing it on behalf of the township. It would, you need to go to your township, essentially is where you need to go next.
Are you gonna close the road?
We're gonna vote on it here in a second.
Well, I guess it's a township issue, but you're giving them the authority to do it. Is that what your vote is giving them? The authority?
Well, they're elected, so they have the authority. We just have to approve. We can't, what I'm really trying to say is they start the process. They're the ones that go, hey, we want to close this. So we're not pushing going, hey, close this road. And when they do that, once again, I'm going to go off they're elected. So I have to assume that they're acting on behalf of their township. Why, in my mind, I usually don't argue too much with them unless there's a real reason. Now, if you were living there, there would be a legitimate reason to keep the road open and clean and maybe maintain. Otherwise, I have to go off their opinion. So yes, I would agree with them in this case.
So why even close it? It hasn't been maintained for 20, 30 years. It's just there. Why bother to
That
close
is
it
a good question.
if nobody.
To provide any reason?
Basically, because it's no longer usable by the public and it doesn't justify expenditures to maintain any kind of a standard for it. So I understand that, Randall. I'm just telling you that this is what they have requested, so.
But doesn't this fall in that realm of what we did down south? Liability on those roads that are limited.
And that's a very good point.
That's another side of it.
Somebody travels down it and
We'd be liable. That is a good point.
Well, we can gate it off at each end.
But it has to be vacated because it's still a public road. So once it's vacated and closed, then that's between the two of you. Yeah.
Honestly, it's a technicality. It is a public road. And so, but to be frank with you, no, I'd be apt to agree with them. I don't see why I would disagree with them, but I want to support our township.
The township would have to clean it up and,
But they would have to clean it.
Yeah.
They can't use the minimum maintenance as not a liability.
it still has a minimum maintenance. They still have to maintain the road.
It still has to be a thoroughfare. You still got to be able to drive down. So I think where they're going is we can't afford to make this road, so we want to close it.
Right.
It would need a bridge.
Correct.
Yes.
Was there any reason why they quit maintaining
That's a question for your township officer.
Martin,
I think the people that could have answered that are probably no longer on that township anymore.
Mhm.
Because I remember that it was probably 20 years ago they closed that thing. Or well,
Didn't maintain it.
didn't maintain it.
Right.
And you trying to answer your questions. I want to be thoughtful. Okay. I would go ahead and a motion to approve resolution 072326 to vacate and close a portion of Solomon Road between 3100 and 3200 Avenue in Florida Township.
Seconded.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Motion carries. We'll notify the township. Encourage you to go talk to them. Encourage you to reach out to the Conservation District as well and see if they can't help you guys clear out some of those trees. They have a program specifically for that right now.
I take care of mine, any problem.
I get your point.
That's fine, I'm glad you mentioned it.
I hope we explained it enough to where it makes sense at least.
It makes sense. I know the township in our area.
Yep. Thank you, guys. Next order of business is the consideration of a property tax relief application for property at 208 West 6th, Solomon, Kansas. Mike and Darcy Teeters. I don't know if you guys looked at it. This is the house that caught fire last year, I believe.
100% destroyed.
Yeah, it is destroyed. So I don't know. I'm going to open up for discussion. If any.
Well, it's pretty simple. I was just.
You guys want to leave?
Procedurally, we just need to
Yes.
go ahead and give the tax relief. So I'll make the motion that we offer the property tax relief application for the property 208 West 6th Street, Solomon, Kansas, for Mike and Darcy Teeters.
Second that.
So moved. We got a second. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Motion carries.
We'll let them know as well. So give me just, like a minute or two so I can get Aaron on the phone. Forrest, are you
No,
anticipating?
we're not
We got
there.
2 more things.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
I jumped again, sorry.
Yep.
Got the add-ons.
Next order of business is, do we need a resolution to accept bids? Should I
You
resolution? it?
consider the consideration of structural and steel and decking bids for the structure at 168 Barn
I
Road.
do think we'll need a resolution on the notice though. Okay. So consideration of structural decking bid from Wellborn Sales at $41,006.98. We discussed this in the study session. They were the low bid. I'm going to open it up from there. Do I have a motion to accept the structural decking bid from Wellborn Sales?
So moved.
Second it.
Second motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, nay. The ayes have it, motion carries. We'll let Martin know. Next order of business is a notice to Hayes Township for a C&B permit or a cereal malt beverage permit. I was informed today that the notice was given today, so don't know that I need to say much more there.
Right.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and move.
And approval of license.
Well, that's the next part.
Oh, sorry.
No separate.
You're fine. So the next order of business there is to approve the C&B permit proposal that was given. I have it here. It would be awarded to Walt's Country Store. I'm told that it has changed ownership and we are just applying for a permit to get malt beverages and the gas station malt beverages.
And they've done their process through the state of Kansas, so.
Absolutely. Do I have a motion to approve the C&B license for Walt's Country Store?
So moved.
Second it.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Motion carries. That signature, but we're gonna go with it. All right, now we're going to our executive session, I believe. Yes.
Forrest, how long are you thinking?
No more than 20 minutes,
Okay.
maybe less than that if it doesn't look like.
I'm gonna do 15 then. Okay. I move that the county commission recess into executive session for 15 minutes to discuss with special legal counsel legal matters relating to the allegations and discrimination filed with the U.S. Department of Labor by former county employee, based upon the need and consultation with an attorney for the public body, which would be deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship pursuant to KSA 75-4319, Section B2. The open meeting will resume in this room at 11. Oh my gosh, I gotta do math.
So it's 11:27 now. When do you want to go into executive?
Here in the next minute, if I can. Or do you want me to wait?
No, I need to review.
43.
43?
Yes, but you go at 28.
Yep. So we're gonna resume at 11:43. We will break at 11:28 for executive session. Got a
You made the
motion?
motion?
I made the motion.
I'll second it.
Seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you. We are in executive session. If all non-personnel would leave, please. We will open the door.
I think we should be good.
We're now resuming our regular meeting, coming out of executive.
I think we have to make a motion that we've left executive session and.
Oh, we
we've
do.
returned.
Correct.
So I'll make that motion that we've returned to regular session here at the same meeting place.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are now back in regular meeting. Next up, I move that the Board of County Commissioners recess into executive session for 15 minutes to discuss the qualifications of potential employment of
Three. Sorry.
3 applicants pursuant to KSA 75-4319, Section B1, for the purpose of discussing personal matters, personnel matters and non-elected personnel, The open meeting will resume in this room at 12 p.m. a.m. No, p.m. The county administrator and director of human resources will attend and the county council will attend by telephone. A motion has been made.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll break for executive session at 11:45. Inside that one, very good.
When it's just the executive session, would you let me know? I'd like to make just a quick introductory comment.
Yes,
Okay.
about 15 seconds.
Aye.
So that's another example, commissioners, where you don't need to do anything other than come back out and indicate that the open meeting has resumed.
You're on the live mic, by the way,
Not
Aaron.
necessary to even make a motion to do that unless you want to, but you just come back out and say the open meeting has resumed.
And we are in the open meeting now, Aaron.
Yeah, we're back in.
I make the motion that we leave executive session and return to regular session. We're at the same place as announced, and it's noon.
So moved. I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I would motion, without any further discussion, topics, or business, I'd motion to adjourn.
Second.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Sorry to make you come in and out, Amber.
Thanks, Aaron.
You too.
You. Just shut off.